Jake will they'll start working today, and we'll just gradually build them up as we go. And that's really it. Everybody else is practicing. So look forward to the challenge of playing the Bills. Real good football team. We know that. We played them several times here over the last few years. So we know they're well coached and a good team, and they've got good players. So we've got to start our work day today and get busy with it. Get preparation. Time's yours.
Could you imagine a scenario where either Isaiah or Charles plays this week?
Unlikely.
As you look at the Bills, they've had, obviously rosters change in all the teams. But they look significantly different on offense with some of the defections on wide receiver. They're pretty much the same stuff.
No, I mean, they're doing well. They've similar stuff, but quarterback's playing real well, and he likes those receivers that he has. So they're moving around well, and they seem to be on the same page. Good tight ends, So good running back.
Andy, Lonnie Morris, how's he doing? And what happened with him in the game? He got hurt, came out for a while, but he looked like he could have gone back in, and then he finally did.
Yeah, he got on the stationary bike where he was waiting until he get the thing under control there. So he tweaks it every now and then, and that's what happens. So he comes out, and then he's able to go back in.
Coach, what's your optimism level on a return for wide receiver Juju Smith-Schuster?
There's a good chance he's back. We'll see as we go through practice, but if it's up to him, he's back. Yeah.
And Josh Allen's been more efficient this year, less turnovers. How has he been able to do that based on what you've seen on tape?
He's doing a great job with the ball. He's using everybody, and he's not forcing anything in there, obviously. So I think he's doing great with his decision making.
Andy, every position has a rookie learning curve. With left tackle, what is the difficulty of coming right into the NFL and being prepared?
Yeah, well, you've got good players on the other side that play against that left tackle, and when you're young, there's going to be a couple of hiccups in there. You just got to bear with it as they grow. Before Wanya got hurt, he was doing a nice job out there, but that thing, you had the bone bruise before, and then he tweaks it every once in a while. So it takes a minute to calm down, then he comes back in. But every week he's gotten a little bit better that he's been starting. So that's a positive going forward here.
Andy, with Wanya, you mentioned the bone bruise. Is that like a long-term issue that you might have more concern about going forward, or is it something?
He's not doing anything to hurt it worse. That's not what's going on. But these things are like a little bit like the high ankle sprain that way, where you bring them back and they tweak it, and they sit for a little bit, calms down, come back out, and they go. So different injury, but I mean it's what he had.
Andy, I know you've spoken to this a bit, but what do you think has enabled DeAndre to have such an impact so fast? And obviously it's talent and intelligence, but what is it that's made it all come together that way?
Yeah, well, he's always been a great player, and this offense gives him opportunities. His style of player, and the quarterback trusts him. So, and then what he is what you saw on Sunday with the one catch on the crossing route, where dirty tough, lands on the football, is able to get up, shows no sign of weakness on that, and wants to get back in and go. And that's been him. Tough catch, contested ball, lands on it hard, and gets back in and plays and wants more.
And from the outside looking in, anyway, I think it seems like gives you a little different dimension than some guys have in the past. Do you agree with that? Does that seem like that range of things he can do?
Well, he's great with the contested balls. That's what he's great with. So if you get it in, and he's got long arms, big hands, and if you get it in that radius, you're pretty sure he's going to get that son of a gun. So, we've had good receivers here, and we have good receivers here. So, but that's his strength right there.
Andy, when it comes to Kareem Hunt, obviously a lot of carries. I think the last 3 games he had 70 carries. How is his conditioning going on so far, and going into this game with Buffalo where you might have to lean on him even more? How are you trying to complement him and measure his carries out?
Yeah, so we threw him the ball a little bit more this past week. They were doing a good job inside, just kind of shutting off the run game part of it, and So we ended up getting him the ball. We would like to get him the ball whatever way we can get him the ball because he's a good player. He's doing well for just coming off the couch. I mean, he's like second in the league for the number of games he's played on carries and yards. So I mean, he's doing a heck of a job, and he wants more. So he's not asking to come out now. That's not quite how he's wired, but he's doing well. You know, he fell on his leg there. One of the guys fell on his leg and kind of tweaked it a little bit, but he's fine.
Coach, Xavier started off the season pretty fast, made a little bit of an impact. He's kind of tapered off a little bit. Are you sensing any frustration from him? What do you think?
I haven't. He's a competitive kid, and these things work like that. You know, he's got a lot of guys around him that have played, and he's learning as he goes. But he's so smart, and he's got talent, and teams are playing all that shell coverage on the back end. So some of his deep stuff, they try to take it away there. But that's not the only thing he can do. So it's just a matter of getting him. There's going to be a game here somewhere where he gets a lot of catches, and we all kind of go, all right. You know, that's how those things work.
We'll go across the room. Go ahead, Matt.
Coach Leo wins AFC Special Teams Player of the Week, not a big surprise. We've talked about him developing as a defensive player, but he's been a key special teams player for a while. How important is he?
Yeah, Toe banks on him to be a core guy for him. Spags banks on him to be a guy for him that he can move around and do different things, from spying a quarterback to being a very good pass rusher to being able to set an edge in the run game. So he's a valuable guy. He doesn't say much, but does a lot. So we all depend on him.
Dave?
Sean McDermott talked this morning about how he likes seeing you on TV with your commercials because that's the personality he got to know over 12 years with you. What was Sean like working with him, his personality? Did we see what he's like when he's at a podium or on the sideline, or are you something else?
Yeah, I haven't watched his press conference, but he's got a great personality. Fellow redhead, man, he does. He's a heck of a football coach. And he came from a father that was a football coach, and so he grew up around it, was a good football player himself, and just top notch. I have a lot of respect for him, what he's done.
Sam?
Andy, you mentioned the Xavier Worthy, but what did you see on the way he was able to create separation on that deep pass? Was there anything more than the miss than just in his throw?
Yeah, no, that was it. He did a great job on that one. Of getting behind the guy. And that's a good corner, too. So he gave him a little hezzy move and took it from there. So did a nice job with it. And somewhere we'll get all that worked out. You know, it'll happen. We just got to keep rolling.
Okay, thanks, Coach.
All right, good.
Fire away.
Patrick, just your first reaction. I know it's been over a month since this happened, this burglary, but your first reaction when you realize you're part of this sort of targeted situation that happened.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's frustrating, it's disappointing, but I mean, I can't get into too many of the details because the investigation's still ongoing. But obviously, something that you don't want to happen to really anybody, but obviously yourself.
Can you say, if we know this happened midnight on a Sunday morning before that Monday Night Football game, were you or your family, were you guys home?
Yeah, I can't speak too much about the details of everything, just with the investigation going on. But I'm sure at some point that will be talked about.
Patrick, when you
you know, with your resume, I know there's things that you won't accept in a win that you would in a loss. Your play this season, I know it's probably not up to your standards. How do you rectify that week in and week out when you say that, you know, you got to improve and, you know, you got to get better?
Yeah, I think I learned a lot about myself last year. Just when I did feel like I wasn't playing my best football, and we were kind of struggling throughout the season, and I kind of learned how to just find ways to win. And so it kind of helped me grow up, not only as a player but as a person, to show that it's not about stats. It's not about how you get it done. It's just about getting it done. And so I know how tough it was last year when we were losing those football games. And if we're finding ways to win this year, and I'm not putting up the stats, I'm feel a lot happier when I go home.
Following up on that, Patrick, I've got to ask because, you know, it's obvious when we're looking at it from the press box, but your tackle, the tackle situation. Last few weeks, they've been getting their work put in on them, and you've taken probably some unnecessary hits. What do you say? What are you saying to them coming out of the huddle, coming off, you know, when you're getting up off the field and blocks are being missed left and right, and you're taking some unnecessary hits?
Yeah, no, I believe in those guys. I believe in all the guys that are on that field with me. I believe in my teammates, and because more than even on the field, I see the work they put in every single day and how hard they work to go out there and execute at a high level. And there's times where I need to get rid of the football. And I take some unnecessary hits as well. And it's about coming together as a team and being that unit that's in sync every single snap. And I think if we do that, we'll go out there and execute at the level that we want to.
Patrick, when it comes to this game and this what's now really a rivalry, 8 times in the last 5 years you guys have played, in this millennium, the only people that have done that is Brady and Manning, and now it's you and Allen. Just what is it about this game that just brings out the best of both of you guys, and how much respect you have for the other side of the field, especially the way Josh Allen's playing?
Yeah, I mean, you're playing the best. I mean, the best of the best. That's what you want in this league. And I've been able to go up against Josh a multitude of times, and every single game it seems like it comes down to the very end. And he's a guy that competes, and he has that fire. I think you can see that fire that he plays with, and that kind of goes through his entire team. And a lot of guys have had a lot of success, and so we know it's going to take our best football. I think that's what we know, and if we don't, we're going to lose, and we've lost some, and we've won some. So I'm just hoping that this week we can get out there, play our best football, and find a way to get a win.
And you've played so many games so far with that friendship you guys have had. You know, you guys have played golf together. It's been all documented on that. But like now, as the games have progressed, is the kind of conversations that's still there? Is it kind of spaced away since the games have been so crucial?
No, we still stay in touch. I mean, especially in the off seasons, just kind of with both of our love for golf and just being around the people. And I know Shane Buechele, and he was here, and now he's there. And so he's a really good dude. I think that's why his team plays so hard for him. But, I mean, obviously we're both competitors, so in the season, not as much talking as we're both going for that ultimate goal, the Super Bowl. But at the same time, there's a ton of respect both ways.
In the offseason, talking about Hollywood, you almost said, I was surprised we were able to get this guy in the room. Now a few weeks with DeAndre. Is there a similar feeling that, like, you're surprised that this guy was available for you guys?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, because, I mean, I watched some Tennessee's tape, but at the same time, not having him here, you didn't know what to expect as far as the player on and off the field. And he gets in the room, and he's a leader from day one. He's teaching younger guys. He's helping younger guys in the room about stuff that he's learned. And then you get on the practice field, and you see how explosive he still is and how he can still make these plays. He can go one-on-one with the best of the best and win. And it was definitely a pleasant surprise for me just seeing him on that football field. And I think I can even give him more and more chances as it goes on, because he seems like he's making plays every time I do.
Patrick, you were pretty close to having a pretty big offensive day on Sunday. You talked about those couple misses you had after the game. Just wondering, how long do you focus on that? Does it get extra focus as you watch film? Just what's kind of your process as you go through those aspects?
Yeah, I mean, I just got to go back to the fundamentals and trying to make those throws. I mean, you can only do so much as far as when you miss stuff, but you go back and learn from it as best as you can. You get back to your fundamentals, and there was a couple of these last few weeks I've missed Xavier on some of those deep shots, and I feel like if I hit those shots, the offense looks completely different, not only for those numbers and those stats, but it opens up everything else for everybody else. And so just trying to get back to that. He's getting open every single game, hitting those throws whenever I can, and it'll take pressure off the rest of the offense as well.
What did you see just for his ability to, like, what stood out about him getting open on that play?
Yeah, I think you can see how much he learned from week to week. I mean, the week before he got open and kind of faded a little bit and caught the ball and ended up being out of bounds, whereas you saw on that double move, he kind of kind of stacked the guy, we say, got back on the red line, gave me room to throw, and then I threw the ball out of bounds. And so you see those steady progressions each and every week. And I think in the long run, it's going to really pay off because he is getting open. And I have the confidence I'll be able to hit him on some of those shots down the field. And like I said, it's going to open up the rest of the offense as well.
Jeremy, you mentioned a minute ago, like you learned how to just embrace how to win the game, stats aside. Like, how would you describe what that looks like and feels like in game?
Yeah, I think you get a feel for how the defense is playing. You get a feel for how the whole game's going, the flow of the offense. And then you try to make the best decision on when to not and when to take chances. In certain games, you got to take some of those chances. You got to go out there and score some points. And I feel like I've done that at certain points this year. And then in certain games, the defense is kind of shutting the door. They're winning the game kind of for us. And I just have to execute in those big moments. And I think last week, if I execute on that throw to Travis or Xavier in that last drive, that would have been kind of reading the game the right way and getting us enough room for the win. And luckily for us, Leo makes a great play whenever I don't execute in that moment. But I've learned from playing a lot of games to kind of when are those big moments and when you need to go out there and make plays.
We'll go last few, Nate, Vahe, then Todd. Go ahead, Nate.
Patrick, similar to you is someone like Chris on the defense. You know, his stats may not reflect the sort of play that he's having, but what have you sort of appreciated or noticed from what he's done this season, kind of in a similar vein from a leadership standpoint on the defensive side?
Yeah, first off, like you said, leadership. He comes to work every single day. He gets after it. He's practicing hard. He's showing that. He's another guy that's going to have a gold jacket, and he's showing that he can get in there and get reps in practice, and he can get after it. And I think more than anything is he understands the scheme that the offense is doing. So sometimes he's taking up 2 blockers, he's taking up 3 blockers so that a blitzer can get free. And a lot of times you might try to do too much in that situation, but he knows that when his time comes, when they do give him that single one-on-one block, he's going to win. And those are usually the biggest moments of the game. And I think they do a great job as a full defense of executing and running the entire scheme. And it's not about one guy, but it does help when you have that guy in the middle.
Bye.
Patrick, it seems that DeAndre has a bit of a distinct skill set. I wonder how that affects your reliability with him, your connectivity with him. Does that give you kind of a mindset of chemistry with him?
Yeah, I think just the ability to win one-on-one is special. That truly is special, and sometimes it gets lost. Because whenever you got a guy in the boundary that's one-on-one with, like this week he was with Surtain, and Surtain's one of the best corners in the league, and he was winning some of those. He's winning some of those matchups, and he's really kind of showcasing that he can win one-on-one versus anybody. And that stuff that takes pressure. It puts pressure on the defense whenever I'm hitting those guys over there in those one-on-one matchups and making them push guys over, which is opening up everybody else. And so that, as well as being able to make tough and contested catches, like the deep cross he had over the middle of the field, that stuff that just in my mind shows me I need to give him more and more chances in those situations.
Is there any part of his game that you didn't realize he'd have? Is there something that has surprised you?
I think just the kind of the wiggle that he has, not only catching the ball and able to make stuff miss and get up the field, but as well as running the routes. Whenever you get around a guy like that, you don't see those things often. So to be able to see that at such a high level, I think it showcases to everybody what type of player he is.
Last two, Todd and Steve. Go ahead, Todd.
A lot of folks are talking about the matchup between you and Josh Allen. You're playing the Buffalo defense. What do they look like this year? What sort of strengths do they have that cause you guys the most problems?
Yeah, I think it's what they do every year. They do a great job of being really, really good at their scheme with great players. They rush the passer well, and it's not just one guy. It's a multitude of guys that play extremely hard and get after the passer, and then they turn the ball over. And that's the staple of great defenses is being able to rush the passer, stop the run, and turn the ball over, and they do all those things really, really well. And so it's going to take our best football, like I said. And I know it sounds cliche, but in order to win this game, you're going to have to play your best football. And I think that we're going to have to go out there and do that, and it's going to be a tough environment to do it in.
Patrick, last week you posted a photo of Tom Brady and Randy Moss. Wanted to see if you saw that, see if you think that there's any similarities there.
Yeah, it was definitely a cool photo because you know what they did together. And D-Hop is a receiver that's on that level where he's going to be a Hall of Famer, and I'm trying to get to as close as I can to Tom as possible. But other than the stats and all that different type of stuff, I want to get that Super Bowl ring. And so if we can go get that one, I'll be good to post a picture of our own.
All right, thanks, Patrick.
this every week, but just how's the body holding up and everything, and just as the carries pile on, Andy Reid just says you keep asking for more. You know, what's that in game? You know, how you manage your body and everything.
I mean, honestly, I just take it day by day. You know, at this point in the season, I don't think, you know, really anybody's feeling great or at their best. But, you know, I just stay on top of it, you know, stay in the training room, get in rehab, and, you know, got to stay on it.
What's Monday day after the game feel like for you? I mean, you feeling like an older running back or what?
I mean, I wouldn't say that. It's just, you know, definitely, you know, feel the soreness. But the way I play, I'm a physical guy. I always get sore after games and stuff like that. So, you know, I don't feel like because it's older or anything.
I guess Pop's coming back to practice. How do you think it's going to work between you guys?
I think that's great, man. I'm happy for him, and I know he's excited to get back and, you know, get out there. I think it's going to be a heck of a, you know, 1-2 punch.
Following up that, outlook-wise, just how similar do you think it could be to what you had with Nick Chubb in Cleveland?
I think it could be very similar, man. I'm excited. You know, I'm used to, you know, working with other great backs and stuff like that. So, you know, I feel like it's going to be another great 1-2 punch.
What did it mean for you to get a little bit more involved in the passing game this week?
I mean, a lot. You know, definitely being able to get the ball in space. You know, they did a great job of trying to contain the run, and, you know, just getting the ball out in space makes my job a little easier, having those guys try to tackle me then.
What have you gotten to know about Isaiah as a teammate in this time where, you know, he's been injured and getting around? I mean, is he someone you watched play, you know, when you were elsewhere?
Oh yeah, I watch him. I got to, you know, watch him in the playoffs and everything. I just think he's one of those fun, energetic guys, and you know, he brings the juice. You know, I like being around that.
Kareem, other than trying to get positive yardage on each run, what are you trying to do when you have the football in your hands out there against the defense?
Well, I'm always trying to score when I get the football. I mean, that's the main goal, and pretty much not let one guy bring me down. Just, you know, wear the defense down.
What's it been like be back with this team? You guys have found lots of different ways to win. Has anything shocked you about how this team has kind of done what you've done so far?
I mean, nothing's really shocked me. I just love the way that we're, you know, battling together and finding ways to win, you know. And it's like the whole team, you know. Special teams won the game for us last week. The defense won for us like a couple weeks ago. The offense went down and scored an OT. It's just finding ways to win. And no matter how we do it, we come together as a team.
Okay. Thanks,
yeah, thank you.
Go for DeAndre.
DeAndre, you're in a unique position where you just played the Bills like 3-4 weeks ago when you were in Tennessee. Just what did you see out of that defense then, and then how can you bring it into this matchup?
Well, they beat us. So, you know, good defense, good players over there, good coaching staff. So we got to come out and play our A game.
And you've been kind of informed and just, I know you've seen the Chiefs and the Bills play, so what have you thought about from afar that when the Chiefs and the Bills play each other?
It's always a good game, always a close game, always game. You know, as an NFL player that you want to watch, you know, those going to be two good games.
Learned anything in particular about Patrick that you didn't know before you got here and the experience of working with him now?
I've had players who's played here. My first cousin played here, Terrence Smith, a while ago, and he used to tell me how smart he was, how motivating he was as a player. You know, I would say, man, it's everything I've heard about him has been true. Just how great he is as a player and as a person.
And you've been working with him less than 3 weeks. Does it feel like longer? It seems like you guys have already developed a certain chemistry.
No, it seems like 3 weeks.
What room for growth is there that when you say that about that connection?
A lot of room for growth. I've been playing for a while, obviously. You know, there are some things that I feel like I could do better. Just being here, learning offense. So you know, I take accountability for myself and what I can do, and focus on me.
How much has Xavier and some of the younger players kind of used you as a vessel to ask questions about how they can be better, and how have you provided some answers there?
I tell those guys go out and be themselves. They mess up, make a mistake, go out, just be yourself. You know, put it behind you. and they do good. I'm the first person to try to be there for them when they do good as well. But they've definitely been asking me a lot of questions just about football and life. That's why I'm here to be that big brother.
DeAndre, it seems like you're really enjoying this opportunity here. Number one, is that true? And number two, why? Assuming it is.
Of course, it is. Why? It's a great football team, great organization, great coaching staff. So that's why.
DeAndre, you mentioned the coaching staff. I've talked to a lot of veterans that have come here from other places and asked them just about Coach Reid, and they always say that they were going through a wall for him. Just want to get your thoughts on Coach Reid.
I haven't been here that long, but Coach Reid has definitely pushed me as a player. He's always watching everything that you do, and you want to go out and be perfect. You'll never be perfect, but you want to try your best. There's a standard that he has, and you feel it in the locker room. And so, I understand when players say what you just said. I could definitely testify to that.
DeAndre, from before that field goal block till the moment after, what was that experience and emotion like for you?
One of the closest games I've been in, from being on the sideline. I caught a Hail Mary, but I was actually, on the field. So, just watching, that was probably the closest game I've been part of, just, being on the sideline. So a lot of emotions, just up and down. Those guys went out and drove the ball downfield to put themselves in position. So, it was a close game, but, we came out.
When you first got here, you talked about just being able to play meaningful football again. Now that you've been here for 3 weeks, how much juice and maybe a little bit of inner motivation is that giving you on a week-to-week basis?
I don't really need motivation. I've been playing for 12 years, so I don't think, it motivates me the way you said it. Going down on that football field and playing for my teammates and trying to be my best and make plays, that's what motivates me.
Todd, and then we'll do a couple more.
You look around on social media, other fan bases get frustrated the Chiefs just win these games. When you were elsewhere, did other teams you were on, how do they win these games? Was it a frustrating thing around the league? And if so, how does it feel like to be a part of these wins that just seem to kind of happen?
No, it wasn't frustrating from being on the opposing team watching, because these guys work, they play hard. You watch them on film. Even when you're not playing against them, you see stuff on film of those guys playing other teams and how they execute things. So they do the details right, and being part of it, it's just how we practice. It's how we go about our day. And yes, other question you asked?
But do you get a feeling here? Does it feel different in this locker room meetings on the field and the sideline than it has felt other places?
Oh, of course. They coming off a championship, 2 championships, so it feels a lot different than anywhere I've been.
Last one, Jeremy.
You mentioned Coach Reid pushed you as a player. What example do you have of that?
Just being detailed, not just at practice, but in walkthrough as well, and just making sure I understand the whole concept of the play.
Thanks.
Thank you.